Hi everyone, our firm wanted to go live to give you some updates and clarifications on exactly what is going on with K1 visas and where they stand. And so the great news is that K1 visas are not banned. We've had lots of questions from clients about what's going on with K1 visas. Are they banned under the presidential proclamations, or are the US embassies and consulates still processing K1 visas? So the great news is yes, K1 visas are not banned, and yes, they're still being processed. And so I'd also want to give you more details about what all the confusion is around K1 visas and exactly where they stand in the world of immigration. But before I get into all of that, I want to let you know who we are. Our firm is called Corrado Pastrana, the immigration firm for couples. And just like our name says, we are dedicated exclusively to helping couples navigate the immigration process. And we love to frequently get on YouTube and on Facebook and share information that's up to date and facts about what's really going on in the world of immigration and how it affects couples going through the immigration process. And so back to K1 visas. K1 visas are not banned, so that is great news. But the confusion about what was going on with K1 visas is that this administration, the President Trump, made two proclamations suspending the entry of certain immigrants and the issuance of certain visa types. But the good news with those proclamations is that they had a lot of exceptions and not a lot of teeth. And so the exceptions under the proclamation there's exceptions for individuals who are married to United States citizens and lawful permanent residents and going through an immigration process. And there's also an exception for the K1 visa. Now, neither of the proclamations clearly lists out the K1 visa as an exception, but based on all of the other text of the proclamations and based on the law and what we know, K1 visas are not part of that ban. So that's great news, and we wanted to make sure you all had clarity around that. Where the confusion comes in, though, is a lot of US embassies and consulates were confused about the proclamations, and rightfully so. They were released quickly, and a lot of things from this administration aren't entirely clear in what they're trying to achieve or what it is that they're wanting to have implemented. So in the world of immigration, there's always what's written and then how things are actually implemented. So we were going through some struggles there with US embassies and consulates as they tried to get a grasp on exactly what it was they could accept and what it is that they're allowed to still process and what they can't. And so over the past few weeks, we've seen more and more US embassies and consulates understanding that they can still schedule K1s for interviews, that those can still be processed. Some US embassies and consulates have even provided more information on their websites about the fact that they are still processing cases for individuals married to United States citizens and lawful permanent residents, and that they are still processing K1 visas. So that's the great news, is we've gotten a lot more clarity from the US embassies and consulates that they are still reviewing those and scheduling those for interviews. Now, another thing that I want to mention is the fact that because of COVID, a majority of basically all US embassies and consulates were closed for quite a long period of time. They just started the process to reopen the US embassies and consulates, and that's a slow and painful process as they're trying to make sure they have all the equipment they need and that they're able to have those interviews and have those appointments, but still maintain social distancing to keep everyone safe. So here in our firm, we've definitely had clients who have been scheduled for their K1 visa interviews. And we do know that there have been a lot of questions about why some people might have been scheduled for interviews and that those interviews have been canceled. And there's been a lot of speculation online, on forums, and we want to make sure we provide clarity around that as well. At our firm, we always like to report the facts and let you know when we're speculating. And so based on our experience, our speculation would be that if you are going through the K1 visa process and that you had an interview scheduled, and if it was canceled, it was likely because as the offices were opening up, the US embassies and consulates were opening up, they realized that maybe they didn't have the capacity they needed. They didn't have enough staff members, they didn't have the right protective equipment. And again, this is a speculation, but the cancellation of certain K1 visa appointments is not an indication that the consulates and embassies are saying that they can't process those. So it's not clear why if you've had an interview, if it's been canceled, why that's happening, but just know that there has been no announcement that K1 visas have been banned. And so, as I mentioned, our firm likes to update you with all the facts about everything that's going on in the world of immigration. We have a Facebook group called Immigration for Couples. We'd love to have you join us. And in our Facebook group, Immigration for Couples, we regularly provide updates on our Facebook group and also on YouTube about what's going on. So if you'd like to join us there, we actually will be having a Facebook Live event this week, and we are available. We'll have attorneys on that Facebook Live event that will be answering all of your questions. So thanks for watching.